This video is going to just give a general workflow for how this could work with getting your Teams meeting up and running for your students that are at home. So we have our meeting link created and we have it posted to Schoology. So now we ultimately want to start our team meeting at the beginning of every period to go along with whatever the respective period class that you're supposed to be seeing. So what I would recommend doing is just getting in a habit of and finding that meeting link in one way or the other. You could be in your Schoology course and just open the link that you created. You could be in Teams. You could just go right to this team here and then just click on this to be able to get your meeting link. Or you could even go in your email into the calendar to be able to find it. All right. While I'm in Teams right here, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to click on this event that I created. And then I'm just going to scroll down here a little bit. And I just ultimately want to open this meeting link. So in here, I'm just going to say, all right, I'm going to open link. It's going to prompt me in my browser where it's going to say, all right, do you want to open this in Teams? I'm going to say yes. All right. If you, for some reason, your Teams app isn't working right, just know that if you use Chrome or Edge, you can still open it in the browser. All right. So I'm going to open my meeting. It's going to prompt me. It's going to let me know, like right now, my camera's turned off, but my microphone isn't. I could mute myself. So that way, like when I first go on, like it's not picking up background noise. And I'm going to start my meeting. So at the beginning of the class period, it would make sense just to start your meeting. And I think it would also make sense to be able to share your screen. So if you have a flip chart or if you have a PowerPoint with some sort of instructions or a welcome for students when they come in, I would share your screen so that way the kids at home are seeing the exact same thing your kids in school are seeing. So once again, just when you're in the meeting, just go ahead, open this share screen option. I usually share my screen, my entire screen, so that way I can like flip around and go in between different things. So like for example, if I know I want to share this PowerPoint, I could just put like my welcome message up here, and I just have this available that the kids are seeing this when they come in. Ideally, like your actual example you'll use with your kids will have like instructions or some sort of welcome on that's specific for them. So ultimately, you can choose to have this pop up so that way the kids that are in class and at home are seeing the same thing. And then as you're going through your lesson, you might have to decide like, all right, now I don't want them to look at the screen anymore. Now I want to use that camera that's hung in my room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get out of this just to show the settings for being able to get out of that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So that way Teams opens back up. And then if I want to switch between my camera view, right now I have my camera turned off. If I turn it on, I can see that it's just my webcam that's here right here in front of me. So I'm going to turn it off again just because that way it's not like out of sync with what I'm recording right now. If you want to change the camera input, what we have to do is click the three dots. The top option that shows up when you click on the three dots is Show Device Settings. And then from here, you have control over what devices or things are being used. So as you can see, I'm using a headset to do my recording right now. So I have like earbuds in and like a microphone that's built in for it. So you can choose where you want the speakers to come out of. It could be built into the computer, or if you have your own speakers that you're plugging in, or you can choose to have it come out of the projector. The one that we're going to want to make sure is working though is the microphone and the camera. Ultimately, the camera, I'm going to just pick from my drop down. I'm going to pick, in most cases, there should be one that says USB camera. You're going to pick the like your other option down here. In my model computer, there's a second camera on my keyboard, so I'll just pick that just to model how to switch it. But yours most likely says USB camera, and we can send out a screenshot when we have it actually plugged into the computer. And then you can control the microphone. It should automatically pick up and put you over through that camera. But once again, if you have to pick the microphone from the drop down, you should be able to pick that USB microphone device. The camera has a microphone built into it. So you ultimately be picking that same device then for your microphone to be able to pick up the sound. So when you stop sharing your screen, now that I switched my camera, I'm just going to close out of this. You'll notice like if I turn my camera on, it's no longer focused on me. In this case, my camera is pointing up in the air because that's where this one's located on my computer. but it would be potentially displaying the front of your actual classroom. And then from there, you can use Dr. Murray's resources for being able to like toggle between different views if you want to like focus in on like one part of your board, or if you want the focus to just be on like the front of your room in general. If you have questions with this, I know this is going to be brand new for us. My best advice is just to play around with the camera a little bit before you go into the school year. But we can definitely help out with any issues that pop up with the cameras, and hopefully have you feeling pretty comfortable using the cameras when you're starting to use it with students. Ultimately, then, as you're going through your lesson, you might be toggling back and forth between your live or like your camera view and potentially having your screen shared. So now that we changed Teams to recognize that we want to use our extra camera, we don't have to change that setting every time we want to go back and forth. But like now, if I decide I want to share my screen again, once again, I can just click open the share tray. I can share my desktop, or I can share like my specific PowerPoint or whatever. And then it just lets me be able to have the kids at home seeing that a close-up view of what I have on the board, rather than like a little bit more distant view that the camera is going to show. So you're going to ultimately kind of like figure out the balance between sharing your screen or using the camera, and then you'll kind of get a feel for what you want to do.